Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to each and everyone. Okay, so this would be the continuation of our topic last previous instructional materials that I have been given to you or that have been posted on our Edmodo class. Okay, so this is ES15. This topic is allotted for only 1 week starting from July 26 until 30. Okay, so we have here week 5. Okay, so this would be dynamics of rigid bodies once again, and our specific topic for these instructional materials would be kinetic of particles, or we have here a Newton's second law of motion. Okay, so now last meeting we have already discussed about the static, no? So in here we have to discuss kinetics, or when we say about kinetics, we have an involved motion about that calculation. So it means that meron tayong aside from considering the uh, balance of the motion, we have also to consider the motion. We have also to consider the motion involved in that particle. Okay, so we have here number one, we have Newton's second law of motion. So well, basically, no, if we Newton's second law of motion, so hindi ko na to babasahin. But basically, when you say Newton's second law of motion, it means that um, kung if your motion or if your object is not balanced, no, so it means that there is a resulting force, no, or net force in your body. We have the result, no, or that imbalance or that net force that result in your that result in imbalancing of the forces that pointing on your object will result into a motion. Okay, or will accelerate that motion to or that object to have its motion with respect to the direction of the acceleration. Okay, so yun ibig sabihin ng Newton's second law of motion. So um, kung meron kang force, okay, in short, kung meron kang force, meron kang acceleration. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng or yun yung pinaka main idea about this Newton's second law of motion. Okay, so that's why in here sa equation, dito sa equation natin, we have here an equation of F1 over A1 is equals to F2 over A2 is equals to F3 over A3, or we have here a constant. This constant here is the so-called as mass. Okay, mass of the object. Kasi nga, okay, F is equals to mass times acceleration. So if we take the ratio of F over F and acceleration, we can that would be equal to mass of the particle. Okay, so yun. So anyway, just read about this definition here. So diyan yung malalaman, or diyan yung ano yun, ma-sure or ma-check out yung sinabi ko kanina. Okay, so we have here, ito yung sinasabi ko, no, we have here a basic equation for the second law of motion. We have force is equal to mass times acceleration. But okay, for your information, this force here is still the uh, the resultant force, no? Kasi nga, no, baka magkamali kayo, no? What if, no, hindi binigay, o for example, kung meron kang isang object, then marami yung naka-point out na force doon, tapos hindi binigay yung ibang forces, and isa lang yung binigay na force, so ginamit nyo kaagad itong F is equals to mass times acceleration. So that would be wrong na, no? Kasi nga this force here, itong force dito na nakalagay dito, is yan yung ating resultant force, or the net force that is being acted on that object itself. Okay, so yun, or kaya dito nilagyan niya rito ng summation of forces is equals to mass times acceleration. So for this equation 12.1, you can only use this one for the case that you have only one force that acted upon on your object. Okay, so yun lang, magagamit mo lang to siya. Pero kung marami yung naka-acted upon doon sa object mo, you have to use this one here. Okay, the summation of forces equals to mass times acceleration. Okay, so we have here just Okay, short uh, discussion about the second law of motion. So number 2, we have here linear momentum of particles, or we have here rate of change of linear momentum. Okay, so um, in here, no, we have, since we have, for kung meron ka, 'di ba, as we have said, kung meron tayong force na involved sa object, meron tayong motion. So in result, kung meron tayong motion, meron tayong momentum or change of momentum. Okay? So what is momentum pala? A momentum is a multiplication or the product of mass times the velocity. Okay? Velocity of the object. So yun, yan siya. Okay, we have here kung summation of forces equals to mass, ito yung second law of motion natin, no? So divert natin yun siya to find the uh, to find the ano yun, law of momentum. So we have here summation of forces equals to d of dt multiplied by mass times velocity. Okay, so in here we have assumed that mass itself is also a variable, no, kasi nga nagkakaroon yan siya ng uh, momentum. Okay, so yun, so therefore we can say that this multiplication of mass times velocity here, okay, ito is a momentum itself. Okay, so yun, so just read about this definition kasi hindi ko na to siya babasahin. We call this one as a linear momentum or simply as a momentum itself. Okay, so mass times velocity. So usually uh, uh, we are using this equation to find the change of the momentum of the object where it moves from one place to another into a different path. Okay, so yun, ginagamit natin to siya. Okay, so anyway, meron naman tayo sigurong or meron naman tayong kunting idea about this momentum. So I will no longer discuss about this one. So dito tayo sa number 3, we have here the system of units. So system of units, meron tayong dalawang classification. It's either international system of units, or we have here the US customary units, or the so-called as the English units. Okay, so we have here an international system of units. Well, basically that is the units na ginagamit natin, no, or familiar sa atin. Okay, usually, no, and sometimes, no, we can even further do for this one by having the uh, or by observing what by observing those people na nagpe-perform ng calculation. Okay, or gumagamit nito using as international system of units, no. So karamihan kasi sa atin gumagamit ng system of or international system of units. Ito yung mga metric, basta lahat ng mga familiar sa atin: force, newton, kilogram, okay, meter square, meter cube, or meter squared for area. So yun, lahat din siya is international system of units. Okay, so an equivalent of it is so called as a English unit would be the feet, the dynes, and ano pa, slag for mass, ano pa, feet cube for volume. So yun yung mga English system na naman. Okay, so yun. So but anyway, no, you can just observe it here sa discussion or this in here sa kuan na to, sa modules na to. Okay, so just read about this, the difference between the international system of units and the US customary units. Okay, so yun, so meron naman tayong mga different yun, ito for just for example, this one here, no, in here it discuss here the different different what do this one, uh, different equivalency of our metric units. Okay, or international system of units. Okay, so yun, so I think, no, wala naman tayong kuan dito, all of this concept naman is familiar with us. Okay, so But by the way, if you have any question about this one, you may just have to ask it to me right after this discussion. Okay? Okay, right after you watch this discussion. Okay? So I think that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.